Okay, I'm back again, back from the dead. I'm gonna take this headphone off because I do need to hear outside of my headphones. But I'm back for another video. I've actually
Wow.
returned. I'm gonna be staying consistent with uploading, even though I have 3 subscribers. One of those is my friends. Hello. I probably shouldn't name you out, right? But like, I'm back. And I'm at my desk, so don't mind the lack of a background and the fact that I'm shifting around a lot, trying to get comfy and everything. But I'm on here to talk about AI, which I feel like I'm already beating a dead horse here. The horse is already rotting. There's construction going on. The horse is already rotting. I'm a bit late to this, but I'm gonna talk about my displeasure for AI slop, as people like to call art, even though it's not art. And unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go through the displeasure of having to look up images of AI art and actually have them on my phone until I can get this uploaded. But yeah, basically, I have a strong opinion on AI. It can be used for good sometimes, as in like for medical purposes, identifying stuff before it happens, and like instead of using the eyes of a human to identify like cancer cells or that, AI can be a help in that. AI can have like 2 or 3 good uses, but outside of that, generative AI is just regurgitating slop stolen from other artists and other writers and so on. Because I'm pretty sure an AI bot uh, went through AO3 to up its writing game. AO3. Nobody consented to it, by the way. Nobody consented to have their work taken by an AI to be used for generating actual slop. I fell victim to that. I have like 2 fanfictions on there, but like, aside from that, I generally just hate generative AI when they're making images and saying, but it makes art accessible. I don't care. People with no limbs have made better artworks than you ever will in your entire life. You bot licking ass. I can't even think of anything creative. Okay. They just love licking the boots of bots and meat riding them and saying, but it makes art accessible. I don't have the money for it. I have drawn in a crayon that I found in a primary school. I got so desperate to the point that I was drawing in fucking crayons that I stole from shops. It's really easy. Go to a big corporation like fucking Target or Home Bargains or that. Right, I'm not advocating for this, but if you really need to, get the 5 finger discount. Oh my god. Like, find other ways to make art. Go out into the forest, okay? Arrange sticks, rocks, and dirt in certain ways to make a pattern. Cool shit like that. And if you're commenting it on a phone, you know how widely available free painting apps are? Get a touch stick or your finger or something to use as a touch stick and just go on IBIS Paint. Oh, but I don't have any money for apps, professional apps for phone or whatnot. Okay. Pencil and paper. You get that at school. You know what you can do? You can draw in the corner of English papers, math worksheets, your jotters. You can do all that in school without having to turn to a machine to make art. And I'm just gonna say this. Art, AI art, images like this are not art, okay? I've seen way better art come from children. And it just really annoys me when people are constantly going on about how AI art is the future, let it happen. it's only gotten so good at art because it's stealing from humans. And it's kind of funny to think that art was the first. This is post editing, Rose. I meant as in like communication and telling stories for what I was meant to say here. Like, it's kind of funny to see that you can't even do the bare minimum of art. It's just, how lazy can you be that you're just turning to AI to make your videos, your content, your art, what brings in the followers? Like, I don't use AI for my art because I'm shit at art. I just draw, okay? There's such a thing as improving. Ever heard of it? Um, but like, you can improve with your art if you talk to friends that are artists. I have a friend, she does a lot of really cool art. I love her art style and everything. But like, talk to people like that. Make connections to artists online with a phone that you're using that you can make art with. You can get helpful tips from professional artists online. Everything is so easily accessible. It's right at your fingertips. It's right on your phone. You don't have to turn to AI just to make a simple drawing you could have probably made yourself if you had enough time. And don't even get me started on the, yeah, but what if they're disabled? Brother, there are so many other things you can do than type in a prompt with your meat glove fingers and blame it on art not being accessible. Art is so accessible. It's the most accessible thing ever. It's not just one certain uniform style. You can do so much and call it art. But AI will never, ever, not in a million years, be considered art. AI should never be considered art because it is a shit way of creating things. You have hands, you have feet you can draw with, you can do literally any form of art without limbs. Okay, you have a mouth. And if you're born without all them, how are you existing to this point? Genuinely, I know there are people out there that do exist to this point without no limbs or mouth, but if you're just going to bring up every reason possible to not do actual art in any way, shape, or form, you're just lazy. That's genuinely what you are. You're just lazy. It is lazy thinking. That is the laziest way to ever think, okay? I genuinely hate when people are like, but I can't put the effort in. Okay, so what? Neither can I, but I still draw. I still choose to pick up a pencil and draw. You can do so much with what you have around you, such as D&D figures. This is not painted by me. I'm gonna have to do the influencer hand. That's not painted by me, it's painted by someone else. You can easily get, templates of D&D figures, and speaking of those, actually, I think I have some in my drawers. I've got ones all the way in the back of my shelves. So I'm not gonna go for them. Yeah, they are in here. What you can do with art is you can take one of these, snap the figures off, construct them, and paint them. Even if you don't have any skill, you can just paint them one colour and then slowly take your time over it. You don't have to resort to AI to do your art because it is genuinely just the laziest thing anyone can ever do in their entire lives. If someone comes up to me with a beautiful drawing, an absolutely beautiful, brightly coloured drawing, and I clock it's AI, and they're like, look at this beautiful drawing I made, I'm punching them in the nuts. I will be punching them in the fucking nuts. Because there is no way you think that is genuinely great art. Okay, yes, it may be visually pleasing, but it's just lazy. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's lazy. It is the laziest thing you can possibly do. And if you're claiming that, oh, but those apps aren't free, take a screenshot of a white page and use your finger with the drawing settings on it and make a drawing there. It's easy. It's that fucking easy. If you're just gonna bring up every single reason to try and deflect it, you are doing actual acrobatics, just mental gymnastics, okay? Mental gymnastics to say, yes, I'm lazy and I can't do my own art. I don't fucking like people like that. Like, Jane, I hate people like that. I hate people that play at mental gymnastics to try and deflect something. It's especially prominent in AI users. Like, they're the biggest people. They're the biggest part of, I don't. Oh, my nose is runny. But like, they're the people that are going, art is not accessible to me specifically, so I have to use AI, and it's not bad if I'm doing it. You're not the only person doing it. And it's not even the fact that it's just lazy, it's the environmental impact it has on Earth. It takes so much water, so much resources, and so much stolen art to create a shitty image. Genuinely. And it's even worse in, NSFW spaces. I'm bringing that into this conversation because most of it is AI slop. Just straight up slop. I like ethical gooning, okay? I don't care if the art is shit. It is fair, okay? As long as you're not using AI for art, NSFW art, so on and so forth. As long as you're not using AI and you're actually making an effort to build your skill, yes, go ahead, do that. But if you're just sitting there uploading AI images and claiming that it's art and all you do is just refine it a tiny bit, go over it with a paintbrush and Ibis paint, I'm going to crawl through my screen and chew your face off if you do that shit. Genuinely. I'd have a quick little break there. But like, if you're just going to sit there and act like art is not accessible to you specifically, and it's not as bad if you specifically use AI, tons of people have that reason. It's kind of like littering. People are saying, oh, it's not bad if I'm just one person doing it. Yeah, but the millions of people out there that are thinking the same thing, it adds and it adds and it adds. The environment is being destroyed by people who want AI pictures of, I don't fucking know, I'm having an actual brain fart here. I'm trying to say what I'm thinking, but I'm a bit bland in the brain. Oh, that's so overdiluted. But like, if you're just sitting there saying, AI, make me I'm gonna cut that whole bit out. It's post-editing Rose here. I got too lazy to cut any of that out. I apologise for the absolute buns editing. I'm trying my best, but it's taking way too long, and I'm yapping about a fly here. I'm just gonna be muting that because I can't edit. I hate editing on CapCut. I do know they use AI. I don't use the AI features. I don't have the money for that. It's premium subscription. If you're just saying, I love AI because how easy it is to use and how easy it is to make art, how easy it is to make pictures come to life, I'm sorry, but you're just genuinely lazy, slop-loving meat raider. It just gives me a headache when I'm arguing with people in comment sections and going, AI art is not ethical, you can pick up a pencil and paper. Or like, yeah, but I don't have the money for pencils and paper. And how the fuck do you have money for a phone that can run TikTok? Like, the majority of people I argue with are younger, specifically 14, 13, maybe even older than that, but they're still in school, okay? They're still somewhere where you can snag a few pencils, take some pens from a class, and, take paper. Because I've stolen a bunch of paper, pens, pencils, sharpeners, and so on from my school, Okay, it's really easy. All you have to do is constantly just go, can I get some spare paper? Can I get another pencil? You just have to lie. Okay, it's not that hard to get resources. Like, yes, drawing pads are expensive and so are drawing tablets and all the materials that come with it, but all you really need is a pencil and a sheet of paper. That is all you need to make art. You don't need extravagant big setups of drawing tablet, pens, batteries, chargers, so on and so forth, whatever the fuck. You don't need all that to make just one crappy drawing. All you need is a pen, pencil, or paper. Those three are what you need. You could even draw on walls, okay, if your parents allow it. Draw on the walls. Draw on your bed frame. Draw on desks, whatever the fuck. Do art anywhere, but stop using AI. Genuinely, I hate looking through art on Pinterest and finding images like that. Just straight up AI slop. And I will be unfortunately downloading a bunch of those from Pinterest and Google. And I'm gonna have to upload this before I can delete them from my camera roll, because CapCut is just like that. I don't know why, but I still have images of my last video on my phone. I need to delete them because I'm running out of space. But yeah, I might be continuing to record videos at my desk, and maybe I'll move my room around. Maybe, but yeah, I don't really like my desk for recording videos or like just sitting there for extended periods of time, because it does really hurt my back, as you can see in the background. I've got a stick. That's how bad my joints are getting. But honestly, that tops off my opinions for today. That's almost 17 minutes of me ranting, and my family's probably wondering, why are you talking to yourself? I'm taking care of business. But yeah, that concludes my opinions for today. I just stepped in something really sharp. But honorable mention from earlier, I kind of forgot to show this when I was talking about D&D figures. I won that. And I also have more D&D figures. I might show those off in my next video when I plan on doing it, because it is the summer holidays. I've got a lot of time on my hands. And I'm just mainly really annoyed at the colours of my new school tie. They're genuinely fucking disgusting. But yeah, that's about it. I keep saying that over and over again. But that's it for today. Not much ideas for content after this, but anyways, enjoy your day. Eat shit and die.